I can have two buildings built on the exact same day by the exact same builder using the exact same blueprint, identical in every way, cared for the exact same way. If one of them is 100% vacant and the other one is 100% occupied, the one that's 100% occupied is worth between 4 and 10 times as much as the one that's vacant by the mere fact that it doesn't have a tenant. That makes a huge difference for us. This is our opportunity to enforce appreciation. However, this building had one incredible distinguishing characteristic that set it apart from every other deal that I had looked at up until this point. It was being offered. It was in good structural condition. It was an owner who was retiring and wanted cash flow plus a strong offer price. But this one special characteristic that I looked at that made it stand out from everything else was it was being offered with seller financing. How many of you would believe you could do this better if you could find a deal with seller financing on it? How many of you have the confidence to know that seller financing exists in commercial real estate? Let me tell you this, it absolutely does. It's more common in commercial real estate than it is in residential real estate. Any asset that is not performing, meaning it's 80% occupied or less, really, it's less than 80% occupied, doesn't qualify for financing. Maybe 75 if you've got a liberal bank. Doesn't qualify for financing unless it's an acquisition and redevelopment loan, then you can maybe get some debt. But to be a developer, you gotta have a little bit of experience typically. They're not gonna just let somebody come in and say, oh, you're gonna turn this around and you've never done a deal? Sure, here's your money. That's not how it works. So the seller must participate to get a sale. You say, well, they just wouldn't sell. Well, a lot of people are forced to sell through death, through need, through downsizing, through relocation, through loss of tenancy. And I can go on and on with 30 other criteria that causes someone to need to sell at an unfortunate time. And so what happens? They have to leave their equity on the table. In many instances, they'll walk away from their equity. But if they need to get their equity over time and you've got an asset that is performing, they will actually give you the money to buy their building. And I've done that over and over and over again. Anybody in this room done seller financing before? Hands up, look around. It happens. A lot. So they're asking $900,000 for this building. I went home and I started doing my math. I penciled it out just the way the Carlton sheets taught me, which was the worst thing I could have done. I made every mistake possible in underwriting. And I came up with the building was worth about 8.25, maybe 850 if I was being generous. He's asking $900,000. I'm like, man, but I got no money, I got no credit, no experience. If I start chiseling away at his ask price, he's gonna start to scrutinize me more intensely, and I'm not gonna get this deal. So I called up the agent and I said, look, write a full price offer, $900,000. We're gonna take the seller financing. She's like, where in God's name, Scott, are you gonna get $183,600?